Hey, good morning. This is a continued building your first pillar of real estate success from last week's session. Hi, I'm Eddie Zubia from Listing Generation System. I teach real estate agents how to have success in real estate by focusing all of their efforts on getting real estate listings, getting good sellable listings, getting listings even in low inventory markets. A real estate listing from a motivated seller is a guaranteed commission check. I started my real estate career as a listing agent. Everyone was telling me that I was going to fail, that I had to be a buyer's agent first. And when I helped enough buyers buy their house, when they were ready to sell, I would get listings then. This was contrary to what my real estate mentor was telling me. My mentor was telling me to focus all of my efforts on getting real estate listings. My mentor was one of my previous real estate bosses. He had been working in real estate his whole career. He is now retired and just manages his real estate investments. He owned very successful, he owned several very successful real estate businesses. I started researching on how to get real estate listings. I found a bunch of stuff on how to get real estate success, on all this real estate training, real estate sales, real estate scripts, on FISBOs, on expireds, on farming in the area. After working in real estate for many years with some kicking ass people, there is no one script, there's no one tactic, there's no one ad, there's no one website, there's no one anything that will make a real estate career. Everything that I came across was the same rehashed information from everyone else. I would have paid anything for someone to show me how to get real estate listings, how to get real estate success. I was looking for a real estate system like the one that my bosses would implement. They would they would plan out the real estate strategy 3 to 5 years in the future. They were foreseeing the next real estate recessions and the next real estate booming market. They would take an idea or a niche from inception to a working model to build referrals around it and get repeat clients from it. So I went back to my boss and I asked him for some advice on how to get real estate listings. We had a talk, and one of his core beliefs is that there is more business out there than anyone could ever handle. Another one of his core beliefs is do the opposite of what everyone else is doing and you will be fine. And find niches with little or no competition. After our talk, it was like, you can do this. He gave me a look like, you can do this. I have taught you a lot already. Like, have confidence in yourself. At that moment, I had an aha moment. I had a shift in my thinking. Was I just going to be another assistant to somebody, to an assistant, to a lawyer, to a real estate lender, or that makes $3,500 per month? Or am I going to start thinking like a business owner or think like a real estate investor? And it was time for me to grow up. I had seen so many people make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, even make millions of dollars per year, and they are no different than you or I. I was getting very frustrated. I wanted someone to teach me how to get listings and how to have real estate success. I knew my boss was right. Everything he was saying was true. There is more business out there than anybody could ever handle. You just have to think different than everyone else. I had to go out and figure it out. I started my own real estate business and I started as a real estate listing agent. Everyone was telling me I was going to fail, that it was impossible for me to get listings as a newbie. So within a few months of starting, I started from nothing with no clients, no real estate experience, no money. I started on a shoestring budget and I started closing 3 real estate listings a month working by myself. Experienced real estate agents that had been working in the field for years were calling me, and once I had a listing, when I had my listings up, they would call me and ask me to accept their client's offer because they had not closed escrow in months. That is when I understood why my boss said to work with real estate listings only. I would hear the horror stories of buyer's agents. It was very difficult being a buyer's agent. After showing a client a house for months, they would finally find a house, something that was adequate, something that was in a price range, something that they liked, and the buyers would get outbid on the house. And it was very heartbreaking. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of invested time, money, and energy, and all down the drain. I was brand new, and I was running circles around my competition. Let me share a story with you. Working as a real estate agent was the furthest thing from my mind. Not in a million years. Working in sales scared the hell out of me. I am a terrible salesperson. I am not a good marketer. So, but how did I get into real estate? I was going to trade school to become an electrical contractor, and real estate found me like real estate found you because you are here. Real estate has a place for you. You are probably not aware of this, but real estate is humongous and it has a job or a business for everyone. There is nothing out there like real estate where anyone can make as much money as they want. You want to make 150,000 per year, you want to make 250, you want to make 500,000 per year. It's up to you. You can make as much money as you want in real estate, and all you need to do is take a few little classes and pass the state exam. And you can buy all the answers to the state exam, just learn them and you will pass the state exam. If you want to change your income, the first thing you have to do is change your mindset. I was going to electrical contractor school from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. I got a job in the afternoons at a real estate records office. It is the most basic job that one could get in real estate. From there, I was offered a job working with a guy that owned a real estate lending company. Every day was an adventure for me. I was learning so many things, and I knew that one day I would be as successful as my bosses. So I pulled this from the previous webinar. Every one of my topics can be broken down, can be thought about, and there's so many different angles you can take on any one of these subjects. And I'm just giving you the broad idea, the big picture idea, but everything can be broken down into several segments. Here I'm going to break down getting your first real estate pillar up and running. So how to be successful. So first of all, don't be like everyone else. I pull this from the previous webinar. I am not talking about getting expired listings, farming, FISBOs, or buying expensive leads that the leads companies sell the same leads to several different people. I will show you how to generate your own leads from listing niches with literally no competition. A friend of mine recently had a listing expire, and he received 17 calls from agents within a few hours time span. So that's when I kind of knew that so his listing expired. So there's somebody out there who gets all the expireds and just blasts it out to their list. And I believe he pays $250 a month, and they promise him 10 expired listings a month. That's terrible. Once I show you, it's going to be blatantly obvious. Real estate will be fun, easy, and profitable. And your clients will love you and appreciate you and refer you. So let me ask you a question. Would a very successful, rich real estate investor buy leads from a source that was selling the same leads to a bunch of different people? I'm telling you no. They will not spend their money, time, or energy on something like that. If you call enough people and if you do it long enough, you will get listings, but it's not a sustainable thing. It's not really worth it to you. But it would be better to focus all your efforts on getting listings where there is no competition. I am not good at math either, but the probability of getting listings where there's no competition, it seems like you would have a lot more success by focusing your efforts on getting listings or focusing your efforts on getting listings where there's little or no competition. So all of my previous bosses were very successful real estate business people. So the first thing they would do is find a niche with little or no competition. Number two, they would work the niche, refine it, gather intelligence, and keep advancing it, keep working on it, advancing it, make it better. There's never an ending process. And then once all this was done and it was a proven system, then they would delegate it to people like me. That's how I learned to do this. I used to do this stuff with them all day long. And then they would just hire people like me and we would work for them. The difference is that many people left and I continued working with those guys for like 13 years. Most of the time we would generate our own leads from various sources. I will show you everything in listing generation system. It's too much to go over here. My bosses would figure out the best way to get the leads from the source. Once we had the leads, we would figure out the best method and best market to approach the new client, the prospective clients. My bosses would figure out as many different approaches as they could, and they would run their marketing plan by testing the market with different approaches, different headlines, different text, just all different ways. I'll show you all of this in listing generation system. They would gather intelligence and their marketing plan. And within a few weeks, they would have their best approach. Sometimes the marketing approach they thought was a for sure winner would not work. Sometimes the most random marketing approach that they would just slap together would work like gangbusters. So you just got to test it and you got to work it. And again, I show you all of this in listing generation system. All this takes time and there's a lot of slides and takes a lot to go over. It seems to me this is a lot better approach to real estate success than buying expired listing leads or FISBO leads or farming leads, which the same, and the FISBO leads and expired leads, the same leads are being sold to many different agents. The only person that is making money is a person selling the leads to many different agents. So just next week's webinar, that's what it's going to be on process number 2, okay, is work the niche, refine the niche, gather intelligence, and keep advancing it. I'm going to share with you when I built my first website, I got into a niche with no competition. And today that business is running automatically, no work on my part, and none of my staff is working on it. It generates thousands of dollars per week of nothing but pure profit. It's an incredible story. I wouldn't believe it unless I built it and did it myself, but I will show you all the proof. And I'm currently starting a new pillar. It is a new trend that cities across the country are implementing. Being very conservative in the next, once it's up and running, I'll probably generate about $20,000 a month from that. So in listing generation system, I show you how to spot the real estate trends and be ahead of the curve, how to get into listing niches with literally no competition. In the previous one, I talked a little bit about Chapter 13. That's a very good source of listings with literally no competition. Chapter 13 listings are easier than conventional. And there's a bunch more that I show you in here in listing generation system besides Chapter 13, but there's too many of them. So Chapter 13 listings are easier than conventional listings. So you got to know a little bit of Chapter 13 so you know what I'm talking about here, but you're going to have access to loan servicing companies. For example, you're going to have a seller that owns a property and they are in Chapter 13 and they are going to have a loan servicing company. It could be anybody. It could be Bank of America, it could be Wells Fargo, it could be a credit union, it could be anybody. The best thing that's going to happen to you is that you have to contact the loan servicing company, whoever it is, and you start becoming buddies with them. And you're going to ask them for payoff statements, and you're just going to build a friendship, and you're just going to get to know them, and they're going to get to know you. And when the market changes in 5 to 10 years, you will know a bunch of people in loan servicing companies that don't have 1 or 2 or 3 listings here and there. These guys have hundreds of listings a month. And that's what I'm talking to you about here in listing generation system. Do you have a plan for the next 5 to 10 years? Do you have a plan when real estate goes into another recession? And you can see when it's bullet out because it will go into another recession. And the best time to plan for it is today, not while you're in the recession. Is to plan for it and have everything ready today. That's how real estate investors think. It's going to happen again. And from all the info that I am reading, the next crisis is going to make the mortgage meltdown of 2008 seem like a trip to Disneyland. Listing generation system, I show you a new way of thinking. And listing generation system is a totally unique real estate training system. There is nothing out there like it. It is a result of me working in the trenches of real estate success, working with lawyers, working with real estate entrepreneurs, working with lenders, working with the best in the industry, brilliant multimillionaire real estate investors. On top of all of that experience, I have also attended seminars, been a member of expensive real estate coaching clubs. I've read hundreds of books. I compress time. I give it all and break it down into 6 easy modules. Everything will be broken down step by step. You will learn how to thrive in any real estate market condition during a bust or a boom. I'm going to show you how to generate your own leads. I'm going to show you how very successful real estate investors think, how they look at the real estate market, how they strategize their real estate businesses. Sign up today at listinggenerationsystem.com/webinar. Here it is. Okay, so you can do 4 payments of $297, which a third of a listing will pay for it. Or you can do 1 payment of $997. You save 16%. But on top of that, you're going to get all the listing flyers, letters, brochures, letters that I did that would convert listing prospects to listings to closed listings. It's going to be taken down soon. This is not going to be available forever and not at that price either. It's going to be taken down pretty soon. And there's only going to be, it's going to be reopened in 4 to 6 months. And it's going to be probably 4 times of that. It's probably going to be between $3,000 to $4,000. That's what all my mentors are telling me now, that $995 is ridiculously cheap, but it's okay. One-on-one private coaching is available. Call me on my cell phone number so we can set something up and arrange it. This is my same cell phone number that I've always had, 213-804-7437, and I always answer it. Thank you for attending the webinar. See you next week.